the assassin and Darth Vader. Where else like?
Yeah, you played the
assassin.
Anyway, you guys commentate this.
We have Bullet versus Jubei.
What are your thoughts on this matchup, Tempest?
I mean, it seems like some whack shit to be honest. But to be honest, Jubei can not Jubei. Bullet can actually be somewhat of a nuisance once she's on Jubei. So we'll see what happens. She has a good RPS when she's in front of you with heat because of command throw. This connection looks like some ass.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Last time I fought YangXiaoLong was way back in the beginning of January. So, and she was okay. You want to go for risky offense?
You want to go for? You shouldn't go for such risky options. You see, everything in this game has a different reward, a different risk to it, and it's up to you to identify it. Doing run-up parry after drive when you're fighting against Bullet with that much heat is definitely a terrible risk-reward situation. That combo does not work on me.
YangXiaoLong, I recall being a very net play-esque Bullet. By that I mean they were purple.
That sounds like you're trying to be very polite.
I mean, look, Zach hasn't told us whether or not I'm supposed to be esports. So if I can go TSB, then by all means, I'm about to like you up.
To be honest, it's fight night, so like we're just saying shit.
Your name's not Zach though.
But there's a degree of chill. Let's put it that way.
A degree of chill that I can't commentate to my fullest. What?
That's.
I mean, you've been doing fine. I mean, it's not like flipping kind of calm, iconic now.
Like what? You put the enchant Dragonov on me.
Do you know how hard it was to get Hyponic not to say a certain word?
Wow.
What word? Just give me the first letter.
Ed.
You know the word.
You already know the word.
You know the word. I know all of you.
I know every word.
Every black man knows the word.
Oh my gosh, Fame, stop.
It's true though.
Oh my god, you mean chicken?
I'm actually about to assassinate you. Like literally come to April TSB, I'm actually gonna assassinate you. Your life is literally going to cease existing.
Okay, well, do you want me to go to Super TSB or do you want me to go to Combo Breaker? Which one?
Super TSB.
Clean. Have a crust days off. What?
Shut up. No, go to Combo Breaker and show people Lazaril, real Lazaril.
Yes.
So, hopefully that connection does not look like some black shit again.
Doesn't Elyon play on a hotspot?
No, but the thing is his match with him.
Oh my lord.
The match before was definitely
hotspot. He didn't even say like Wi-Fi or a particular place. He actually says hotspot, the official term. Like it's at an airport. Like,
you want to hear a fun fact, ladies and gentlemen? The first time I ever fought Fame in Central Fiction, I actually fought him on a hotspot connection. And when I asked him how the connection was, you know what he told me?
What happened?
Word for word, better than Tempest.
What the fuck?
I actually had the screen cap saved on my laptop for like months before I said I'm never gonna do this.
Oh my god, okay, so we're talking EA just destroying his life bar. Even though he's had an advantage, damn.
YangXiaoLong actually trying to take an early lead in this first 5. One more round away from 2-0.
My matches with Fame are some legendary garbage.
Hey Tempest, you want to fight on Fight Night?
Not right now.
Is that a no?
Yes, that's a no. What the fuck?
Okay. So Fame, what do you have to say about this match?
What? He's not even here!
I know,
I'm
so
not
Fame,
even there.
Wait, here's a better question. Fame, why'd you stop playing Juice? That's fine through the air combo.
I've got Fame listed.
I asked why'd you stop playing Jubei.
I lost interest.
Right.
That's what they all say.
Simple. I've got Fame on the commentators list, even though he's not there.
He found Susanoo.
Man, I'm seeing a lot. Wow, just run up Miklet.
He ran up Miklet to the fucking fireball.
Well, he was coming down, and I'm pretty sure it's projectile invulnerable. And Miklet does catch air bodies, so I guess it was an option.
I definitely feel Elyon should make use of instant overhead more, even though he's not in looks right now. Because in general, that instant overhead makes people very, very wary of like fucking trying to guess block high. And then his 2B is actually good, so yeah.
Nice.
So he's trying to make a lay again, but instead just
Miklet gets exploded by just crouching.
Right, so he just died.
It's a funny command grab. People try to react by jumping, only to jump into it.
Here's a fun fact: if Bullet neutral overdrives Kunzite, she can overdrive and then go into Mikele.
Huh.
If she's in heat level 2, that's like 7K.
Here's a fun fact to everyone with a projectile: if Azrael growlers your projectile, it's not the end of the world. You can still rapid.
Yep. Another fun fact is Fame hates Azrael with every life of his fiber.
Every life of his fiber.
Every fiber of his life. Wait, what? Is that how you say it?
Your use of words is looking pretty ass
every
right
fiber
now.
of his being.
Every fiber of his existence.
How do you mess up words? Like,
you mess up words too.
Like, boy.
Hey,
I blame
please.
you.
Why do you sound so dead?
Fame always sounds dead.
No, he...
So Zach, what do you have to say about this matchup?
I mean... I don't know, these
It's
characters...
Jubei on a hotspot. What do you need to think about?
I mean, it's just like Jubei's trying to do stuff and Yang's getting these random Ds.
Oh my gosh.
Random
To be honest,
This
I'm gonna tell you guys.
mad sus.
I'm gonna tell you guys about. So if you want to talk about connection, about some death play characters, some delayed lords. Let's talk about those Nessica 2 characters. But before that, Elyon keeps you being under these Mikele. So let's talk about Kagura, Susanoo, randomly Lychee in like.
Oh, the gods of Nessica?
Yes, randomly Lychee in like 7-frame delays an issue. Even though I would figure it should definitely be weaker, but randomly you can't block her off, so I don't know. Arakune's godlike somehow too, because you just fucking get hit by
What, on
shit.
a new Nessica system with the way of all the lads?
Wait, what about the Nessica system?
They talk about that, what, 7 to 10 frames of delay they happen to go.
Yeah, it's like 6 to 9, I believe. Very, very bad.
It
Good punish on the 6B, by the way.
You can get better matches on Netplay than on. Nessica 1 is also honestly trash.
2B. This should be good. This should be good damage.
Oh my god.
Get the air reset.
Just reset. Don't do combos. Just reset.
The cute stuff. See, the random
Wow.
Yeah, just randomly get hit. Don't burst Elyon, to be honest. Just save it for next round.
Oh, he better not.
I would have bursted. But then again, I thought this was the end of the match.
No.
Just.
Go
okay.
for that.
Why?
I noticed there's not a lot of counter assaults being used, like at all.
I mean, he tried to use one, but he got cross trigger, but he did it too early.
Right, that is that.
So
Star snap sands and it works.
So I want to talk about again BlazBlue Risk Reward. If that snap hands did not hit and it whipped, so you got 1K off of that, right? Do you understand how much damage you would have taken if that shit actually whiffed? That's what I mean. It's like a lot of like net play mindsets are not geared towards risk reward.
We are getting
discrepancy.
exploded by
This connection is also
by
fitting.
JD mix up.
Honestly, is IED JD even reactable right now?
I don't
Doesn't
know.
look like it.
No.
At
Oh
this
my
point,
God.
I just start gambling
is he
on
gonna do-
on
okay.
anti-airs.
He's
Burst,
gonna
I
do-
would have saved the burst.
Yo, Elyon,
Wow.
That's how you know.
Wait,
Elyon-
he whipped 236B and then converted.
That's how you know Elyon
no,
plays on Netflix.
no. I'm mad. You try to press your advantage and essentially not clearly have
He tried to press his advantage in a situation
that was
clearly disadvantage.
Disadvantageous if someone reacted.
You guys love that line.
It's the most important line.
It's the biggest line in gaming. The biggest line.
I've heard Eric say that multiple times. And I haven't even heard him speak that much.
And they screwed it up multiple times.
Yeah.
What?
I said it properly. No, Faith, shut your mouth. I'll say his words. Okay. He said, I will say it in his voice. I'm mad you try to press your advantage in a situation that was clearly disadvantageous if someone reacted. That's literally what I can pull up the clip right now. You want to do this?
Here's the thing, you dropped it. You dropped the ball when it mattered.
I dropped the ball when it mattered? No, I said it word for word, but then Tempe spoke over me, so it sounded like I was freaking out. What? Why did Yang switch to Lambda? What can Lambda do that bullshit?
Okay, so both of y'all ass. That's what it is.
Do you know why he swapped to Lambda? He knows on Nessica 2, Lambda is godlike. She's A tier Nessica 2. Let's go. She just knows S tier, 9's A tier.
So time out. Are you trying to say this is Fight Night Nessica edition?
Please, don't put that label there.
What is that move called again? Is that Spada? No, that's Crescent Wheel, right?
I don't know what the hell she did, so... To be honest, like, not Nessica, Lounger and Delay is actually some fucked up shit. Like, no. Like, Zoners, like, New 13 and Lambda are so good in Delay, it's actually scary. It's actually
Originally talking about this.
Yes.
Yes. Delay man is important.
Who's good with flag?
To be honest with you, Zach, a lot of people, despite everything that the top level players have been trying to say for years,
that was nice.
That's what I'm talking about. Back dash into forward dash, super jump. That's full screen.
Yeah, that's a full screen move. Like, he can RC that too, block and do a fucking.
That was clean.
Yeah, it's actually clean. But a lot of people don't understand there's a major in meta when there's delay and when there's no delay. So, like, I feel it's still kind of important to talk about.
I mean, it is important, and I do hear about it, but I don't know. Just because you know me, I don't really understand. Well, I don't really go for net play things. I just try and do everything I do online and offline the same. But
right,
that's just me.
Right. Well, it kind of goes into what we were talking about.
Yeah, I need to say something important. Like, to be honest, the way you play is honestly the way you play, like right now, or like play in general, is honestly geared to the environment that they played in for all of their. Like, if you learn the game in delay, you will go for things that work in delay. That's the thing. Like, if overhead keeps hitting, you will keep doing overhead because it's working. Because why not? Right? Because if you learn the game in delay, there's less risk of you going for a mix-up option than otherwise. This combo is actually gonna kill. I
mean, I've played like both because I only became an online player more because I moved to America because there's nothing around here. Well, around where I am, but I'm mainly an offline player. So when I came here, online didn't really change like how I play the game. I just like anything you see me do online, it's not going to be like, oh yeah, that would only work online. I don't really think that way. I know some people do. It's kind of frightening because they'll just get
it's scary.
Yeah, they'll get destroyed.
Because like the way people learn the game is how they'll play in like multiple environments. So it's kind of disgusting when you think about it, because if you watch tournaments or whatever and you see the Japanese, what is YangXiaoLong doing? If you see like the Japanese players come over here or whatever, you see the way they play. Like, it's definitely delay influence when you see people doing run up overhead continuously at neutral, not even on offense, at neutral, to show that the option that they're doing carry less weight in the environment that they play in. So that's what I'm kind of talking about right now. Net play is very similar, where like you could go for options that are more risky in a less delay environment because they're stronger in delay. So yeah, that's basically about that. What do you want to say, Chaotic? I'm sorry for ranting.
You basically said I was gonna say how it's kind of like a lot of like people's playstyle. Like you said, your playstyle is kind of the same online and offline. I respect what you said. I haven't seen you play offline. I've only ever played you online, so I don't know how you play offline. So I'm gonna take your word for it. Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of like this decision making is kind of geared to. It's kind of based on like your most preferred playing environment. I play online because I don't really have anyone to play offline with. So a lot of the stuff I do is really like based off of like the online culture, people I fight. Like you've commentated my matches, and you said I'm a very Unga player. I kind of don't hold back on defense.
I've heard you complain about that before. For someone actually told me, I say every time an Azure comes up, Unga comes into play. Not because I'm saying all Azures are Unga. It's just what people like to affiliate that character with. You as a player, I wouldn't call you Unga.
Right. If well, anyone offline that I fought at CEO Taku, they had nothing to say about my defense in terms of like me pulling the trigger early. When I fought Dozo, when I fought SKD, when I fought Beta Dude, in fact I can literally count on my hand the number of times I've DP'd offline. It's because it's like I'm more afraid to try and take a mix-up online because I know there's delay being taken into account. An 18-frame DP suddenly becomes a 14-frame or 18-frame overhead. I'm sorry, becomes a 14-frame overhead online, whereas offline it's still 18 frames. I'm more confident in my ability to react. So I'm gonna block. I'm gonna play patiently. I'm gonna play active neutral. I'm gonna play reactive neutral, so on and so forth. So when we talk about things that work and don't work and lag, it's because of delay. And it's like Tempest said, you see Ragna Gauntlet Hades work a lot online, right? It's the net play overhead, Ragna Gauntlet Hades, Azrael 5D, 9 Kunzite, and like Jin 6A. Those are like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in terms of like overheads. Maybe not Jin 6A, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But offline,
the other horseman is just Jesus Christ.
Susanoo spin. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse online, but offline, those are really free overheads. Especially Susanoo. Like,
Susanoo's one is free offline, but I won't lie when I say I've seen pro players get hit by those 4 horsemen you guys speak of.
Wanna know why? It's because the people who play these characters. Beta Dudes Ragna, Fame's Susanoo,
Dogora as well, who just do like straight up dash forward 5D and made it look unblockable back in the day, and people still get hit by it offline raw.
Yeah.
It's
conditioning.
Because the thing is, like, their placement. Okay, here's the thing: the difference between like mid-level and like the mid-level and top-level players have like their placement of their like mix-ups and pressure. I'm gonna tell you something really important about like offense right now. 99% of the casted, the offense is pressure unless you have godlike. That's honestly the truth. Basically what it means is your offense is just pressure. It's basically mids unless you have godlike mix-up. Because in BB, a lot of these characters have extremely reactable things. Like think about the amount of characters you can block right now and say, oh my god, they're hard to block. There's only like I'm not gonna say handful, but there's definitely less than 10. Yeah. Right?
Valkenheim, a really good 9.
A really good Izanami.
Not like run-of-the-mill 9, because like they don't really have
9 in very specific situations, aka the corner.
Yeah.
Right, 9 in the corner.
Jubei, Izuyoi, Carl, Rachel. That's all I can think of. And even then, Carl was kind of like.
Carl can definitely react to.
Carl on a tall character.
Yeah, Carl on a tall character for sure. But Carl is definitely reactable offline. Arcuna, you can't block. You're not fucking. He actually has a true 50-50. I don't think any other character in this game has a true 50-50. Where like you literally have to guess 100% of the time. So I don't know. I want to say Juby's. I want to say
yeah, just
no. You know the corner setup? Teleport?
It's probably going to be a really grimy setup from Jubei. But like outside of that, he's not really hard to block.
Jubei has no mix-up unless you do JA.
Yeah. A good example of a character
overhead, so it's still classified as like something that isn't very easy to block. Like, oh my god.
What? Purple Flow. Good night. That's what I'm talking about. As I was saying, a character that's a good example of a character who's just pressure offline as opposed to pressure and mix-up would be like Naoto. Like his only high is 6A. You can just block. You'll be blocking for a long ass time, but you're you can just block low. Offline, you can react. There's literally no next to no fear of being opened up by Naoto offline. Like the fear of his pressure comes from when you suppress a button and when he's trying to escape. Like is he gonna catch a jump? Is he gonna throw you out of jump startup? Is he gonna beat your mash? That's the risk, not the high.
A lot of characters in this game have they don't have continuous offense in general. Like they usually have to end their offense somewhere at some point. I refer to things as forced endpoints. Like when you think of Susanoo's 5D, that's one of his last chances of him actually able to continue pressure. He has very limited options afterward, and his other options are not very good if you apply system mechanics well. Like 6B, I know that's like a main button now because of how plus it is in CF2, but honestly, if you apply IB barrier well, that normal, despite it being very real, it's not as serious as people think it is. But again, delay environment, net play, blah blah blah.
True.
But when you think of characters like Naruto and Makoto, they actually have specific their pressure is outlined in a way where they can continuously do things to you, and you can't get out per se without taking a risk, basically.
Yeah.
9 in the corner is like that too. Izanami is like 2, where their offense is very tailored towards that.
It's basically more of a frame trap situation, and they want you to for them to
instead of raw mix-ups.
And that's one of the things as well that makes because when it comes to mix-ups online and offline as well, I agree that overheads are definitely 100% more reactable offline, but I don't know, I show a degree of fear for any character that I fight regardless of it being online or offline. I mean offline I still fear the characters the same way because well-placed normals, you're basically asking a player to be 100% woke for the entirety of a match, which is possible. I mean, we have the chance to do that, the brain power. But at the same time, like I said before, anyone can get hit by something that you would, or many people would say is, why the hell would you get hit by that? But honestly,
honestly, it's a very big thing. It's like a very mean thing.
Yeah.
I remember last year when talking where SKD was getting hit by 5D, and it's like, oh, he was talking about reacting. Here's the thing, though. It's like, even though we're talking about reacting, we're just saying things in the optimal environment.
Yeah, basically things that you have more of a chance of doing offline in general. Yeah. It's just sadly the people have taken that. That's the thing I was talking about in terms of people being toxic. Sometimes you don't actually have to be a bad person to be toxic. Sometimes, let's say, everything you guys have said is true. Things are more reactable, they're more reactable offline. That is fact. But some people take it so hard. It's like literally, this guy got hit by this overhead, he's free. Like some people think that's just like law at this point.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about the FGC that actually annoys me the most, but some people actually take what people say as face value and they don't think for themselves. That's not a big problem with the FGC.
That's a very big issue I have too.
Yeah, people don't think.
A lot of people currently do not have their own opinions. Mainly, especially for Blaze Blue, since we have a very limited amount of strong players in North America and Western Hemisphere in general, like EU too. We have very limited amount of strong players.
A good example of this would be when SKD was when SKD did his stream a couple of months back. He was talking about strong characters and weak characters. He said offline, Azrael, in a high-level tournament setting, Azrael is very weak, and Bullet's actually a lot better than people think. I, among other people, very much disagree with that.
Oh no, I disagree. Actually, a few days ago.
I'm pretty sure most people just.
Yeah.
Wait, what? So you cut off.
Why are you still here?
Wait,
because he's just listening.
Wait, you cut off. Say that again.
Like the past 20 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of people disagree with that, but I feel like there's still some people out there who heard, oh, SKD said it, so it has to be true.
Yeah, there are people like that, and I dislike those people. They don't think for themselves because, like a couple of days ago, SKD did a stream, and your mate, what's his name, or your brother, I don't know if it's your brother or your mate, Dante Redgrave was on his stream.
Yeah.
Now
you watched that stream?
I know that Dante player and he don't do net play tactics. I know this because I've played him. He's a good player. Like he knows what he's doing. But on SKD's stream, he must have joked around, said, "Oh, this Azrael's kind of crazy. Oh my goodness, blocking him online. Look at these online tactics." Now the stream was like, "Oh my god, get this Azrael out of here." I'm thinking most of the people in the stream chat would get bodied by Dante, but they're talking about him.
That's true.
Because a lot of people. Okay, no. There's a lot of people.
Fun fact. The 3 people that spoke in that chat at that moment, I won't reveal their names, but the 3 people that spoke in that chat, me and Dante both beaten in sets.
Exactly. But when SKD says something, the thing is, SKD could have just been joking, but you know, he's always like, oh man, I'm trying to block online, mix up online, don't judge me. Like, he's always joking around. But people take it as face value, and they were like, yeah, this Azrael's looking kind of net play. I'm like, who are you to talk about this guy? You don't even know him.
Yeah. But at the same time, can I say this really quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
At the same time, there's also a third angle you have to take into account. You have to kind of like look at what they're saying, like not take it at face value, obviously, but kind of like look into the deeper meaning. Like SKD was saying, he's a net play Azrael. It's kind of true that Dante's play kind of has it's kind of based off of like delay. He has delay tendencies in his play.
Yeah.
Doing overheads and like really big normals. When they have resources, like SKD kind of just stood in front of Dante's face and then just did raw astral reaction to 5C, and he did overdrive reactions to 5D. Dante said that he actually realized SKD was reacting to TK Gustav, so he did forward dash and the jump cancel and bait and overdrive. So there's a lot of the delay tendencies in Dante's play, but Dante as a player can pick up on that and
adapt
and kind of play around that.
Yeah,
so
you can
both
he doesn't think, he's not one-minded, like, he doesn't just think about one particular thing, like, okay, net play tactics. He knows what he's doing with the character, he knows what he wants to do with his game plan, and he'll change it.
Yeah.
That's not a net play warrior.
That's the thing about what we were saying about, like, these delay tendencies. It's like, the way you play is always based off the people you fight and the environment you play in. I'm, like, for sure. Like,
what is this?
Dante, yeah, it's the optimal fight system, but it's too laggy, so whatever. Dante, like, most people, as we already, net play players are not very good. So, Dante can just, like, usually do whatever. Like, he'll throw out, like, 60s at neutral. He'll throw out a lot of high commit things that are actually very unsafe in an offline environment. But these people, in general, are either not respecting or they're not punishing it, so why not just do it? But when you fight a player who actually punishes those things, like, you can definitely see him just calming down a bit, even though he was doing them. Even though he technically should be doing them in the first place, it's definitely the environment to be blamed as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of things I disagree with, he said that SKD said that Bullet versus 9 was what's it called? He either said Bullet favor or a fine matchup, and
he said a fine matchup for Bullet.
Yeah, no.
That's not a thing. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's not a thing.
There's, like, I respect him, but there are certain things that he says that he is joking about and sometimes what he's not joking about, but I will not take everything at face value because it's not always true. It's one person that is a Yoi, and he's a very good Wagner, and he uses other characters, but for other characters, when he starts talking about what he thinks about the matchup, even though he's a very intelligent player, some of the things he says is kind of wild, so...
Yeah,
I don't know about that, and I think that's 3-5 or 5-3.
Yeah, it is.
It's like sharing your opinion amongst like high level FGC. There's always like things to take into account. Like no one's gonna agree with you. I actually like don't really share too many Agile opinions on Discord. But that's a completely different topic. Killer Kitty asks, is there a way to become less net play when you're not involved with your local scene? Yes, there is.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really easy. You just watch a lot of high level matches. Like if you play, I don't know, Ragnar, you watch Iwashi. If you play Jin, you watch Fenrich. You watch their play in tournaments and in casuals, and you take away their tendencies, and you try to like decipher their decision making in certain situations. Like why would you do dash up BP in on offense? Oh, it's because player Y would always do DP during stagger pressure. So you DP, their DP.
Like
you take a lot from the play.
Another thing is a lot of people like look up only to like one player. Like everyone says, oh, Azrael, like oh, Dogra's the best Azrael, so we look up to him, or